Step number 3, ready to be wrong. Be ready to be wrong. Welcome it like a great meal after a day's work. How ready are you to be wrong? Let me say that again. How ready are you to be wrong, and can you live with it? There's been a lot of people who have passed through this earlier before you. Some of them have eaten in the same foods you have. Some of them have been to the same places you have. Some even more frequently than you do them. I say this to tell you that a lot of people have failed, some even more than the others. But you, personally, how willing are you to fail? How ready are you to failure? How receptive are you to being wrong? How happy are you with being ashamed? How much shame can you take before you say, I'm done with this, let me bottle it all up and go down into deep from frenzy? Because no one touches the angry guy. No one bothers the angry girl. Right? Right. So at work, when you get told to smile more often than the others, and you get told to stay a bit later than the others, what do? And you get told to speak a little bit quieter because I'm on my phone. And during lunch, you go to the eating room. You open up the freezer only to find out that your meal is no longer there. Cynthia, don't play like that. And then, despite you realizing you're wrong or partial wrongness, working on being better, you go on the offensive, figuring out how to get even more tighter. No, here's what happened. You must have smiled or showed little teeth for them to really think that you are on their level. How ready are you to be wrong? Because for you to really care, you have to be ready to be wrong. How happy are you with being caught cheating? How pleased are you being the one laying on the curb with a pool of blood on the ground beside you and a spoonful of teeth in your mouth? How receptive are you to being wrong? The greatest plan fails 1,000 times before it becomes real. The most upright backs have been beaten by the toughest canes. The most sturdy beam has been eaten by 1,000 blades. Show me a person who has never failed, and I'll show you 1,000 generations begging not to be born. You get me? If you haven't failed, you haven't been wrong a lot more times than you have been right. You see what I'm trying to say, right? If you haven't failed, if you haven't been wrong a lot more times than you could have been right, then have you really tried enough? I'm not talking about failing at things you're not good at. I'm talking about failing at things you're good at. Doubting yourself, missing your kids, regretting decisions, trying to undo time. Have you been so wrong that you inflicted harm or pain on someone you should have protected? You should have felt safer around you than anyone else, right? Have you been so wrong? Because if you haven't been so wrong that you can't even speak about it, then get ready to do it all over again. In one way or the other, get ready to be wronger than you have ever been.